Well, hello and welcome back. We are continuing our little short API shortener or URL shortener API application thingamajig. I know I'm getting a little technical there, but basically you give it a URL, it gives you a short one back, just like Bitly or Owly or any of those other ones. What we're doing right now is we're going to wrap up talking about the Swagger API documentation piece, because that's pretty darn useful. Just to catch you up, as we have a nice document that has been created for us that we can gets thrown out on so somebody can take a look at our API and actually put it to use. Now, a few extra things we have not talked about. First one is there are Swagger things that you can do. So if I just get rid of these, which I have been using, then what you're going to see right away, you're going to see this page looks different when I first refresh it. Because boom, it is not expanding it. Also, if I do get, try it out, if I do get hello, then it's just going to say, hey, here it is, here's the response headers. What I was using, there we go, is one that I'm going to expand the list, and then I'm also going to have a request duration and an operation ID. And these we talked a little bit last time about ChatGPT and how it can maybe help you out. Well, that one I did, how do I add extra content descriptions to Flask RESTX Swagger documentation, and boom. I do this and it gives me a bunch of nice little information things that we can look at. So it's a quick way to be like, oh, hey, how do I do this? And we're going to talk through that. So this one, now when we go back, after we add just those couple, now, whoop, I got to restart the API. That usually helps. Whoop, come here. So now when I run it, because I said automatically blow it out, it's going to blow out all of the, it gives you the full list here. It also now, when I run get hello, try it out, execute. So what we didn't see before is I get a little request duration. So I can see how long it took to run this thing, which can sometimes be very useful. So if I wanted to get a shortened one, try it out, whoops. And I do http / dp link .us. I think it's this way. How did I write that? Yeah. And give it I don't know, 13. Then it's going to come through and it gives me this, and I can see here's my request duration. So I get a couple extra things you can get to your displays depending on how you want to do it. It's not a big deal necessarily. However, some things that are more would be each of these. Is that what we can do is we can come in and we can do, and I believe it is below. I want to make sure where the comments go. Yeah. You can do, and this is probably going to feel a little bit familiar. You may have seen this before, is you can actually triple comment stuff. So I can come in here and go 1, 2, 3. There we go. And in here, so I can say see, this even gives me a return string that API is up if it is. And this is just to check if the API is up. User will get an error otherwise. There we go. And let's do the get. So here we're going to say this is going to return the JSON packet of results. And so if I do a get, let me do it like this. Is that if I do the get, where's the get? There's the get. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the shorten get. I'm going to say this that has resultant status. Oh, that has data and status such as the example below, which I think, did it already give me that somewhere? No, it doesn't. So good. So I can put that there. And I say this is what it looks like. Whoop. Whoop. Let's do that there. And this is takes a URL parm URL equals of the HTML address http colon whoop, dplink.us quote, and then followed by an ID to return a string. Let's see, a full URL. Okay. And so let's just go with those two. And what we will see now is, we pull this in, if we look at hello, so here we can see that now I've got a comment sitting in here. So that first line, let's see, hello, where's that? So this is just a check. There you go. It does that just to check if the API is up. User will get an error otherwise, and notice it sort of rolls over and then return string that API is up if it is. So we get something sort of useful there. And down here, forget. So the same kind of thing. Takes a URL param, URL of the HTML, HTLM, which we can actually clean this up a little bit. That's HTML. So we're going to get, let's say, get the full URL from the shortened one. And so now what we get the user, or they will get an error otherwise. Okay, so now if we take this, so now we can clean it up a little bit, and it's going to look a little bit better, because now what we've got here is get the full URL from the shortened one, and then it says here's what it is, return. We can actually put a decent amount of information in there. We can actually get a little bit more complicated as we want to. Up here, this is the, if we remember, we had the full description, and we had this. We could actually do, I think, maybe, let's see what happens if we do a triple here. And instead do it like this. And let's change our description. Actually, let's do two. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's say October 2023. Let's do that, and let's see how that looks. So now we're going to look at the top, and we're going to see, there you go. So it does. It also gives us something similar here that we can get into it and get fairly complex and have, a nice set of documentation. These things, obviously, it's a little better to have your little, sort of a brief summary type title row. And again, when in doubt, go chat GPT it up and then see what comes, because you're going to see, some pretty good information. Like here, I could come in here and I could actually look a little deeper into this one with additional metadata. So I could do, let's just do this. So if I want to go into those settings a little bit more, now I'm going to get something that's going to be a little more, let's see. And I guess it gives me, maybe that's the only ones we've got. There is, here we go. So we can get some more information here. We've got title, description, contact, and license. We had title, description. Let's do this. So let's go look at those real quick. So title we had, description we have, contact Let's do info at developerpreneur. Whoop, if I spell it right, developerpreneur.com, and license information. Free to use. Let us how to improve it. There we go. So if we look at that, then we're going to see something like this. It doesn't, it's not showing me a whole lot. Oh yeah. So it doesn't really say that it's a license, nor does it say contact information, which is interesting enough. So that may be an old version of it or something along those lines. So we'll have to see. Maybe ChatGPT doesn't know what the heck it's talking about. That could be part of the case. So if I do, I'm not going to go into it, but you could do like this and then go expand 3, and you could get some more information on maybe the additional pieces that you can add, things like that. So that will wrap this one up. I think we've spent enough time now that you should have a good idea of how to jump into Swagger and document your stuff. And it looks, let's face it, it's not hard. It looks good. It doesn't take you that long at all to add a little bit extra comments and stuff. And then suddenly you've got something that looks, instead of like we originally did, that looks very hacky like this, actually starts looking, pretty like professional and stuff. And you can have real information and have things like the Git, where you can have like, hey, it's going to look something like this. And there's additional things you can do within Swagger to like highlight those and that kind of thing so that it makes it pop as the document goes. That will wrap this one up. We'll come back next time and we'll just keep diving into things that we have learned. That being said, go out there and have yourself a great day. Thanks a lot for your time, and we'll talk to you next time.